Hello and welcome to another trading recap with Justin Low Stocks. Sorry it's been such a long time since I've made a video. To be quite honest, I had a few big losses in a row, two or 3 days there. Nothing that you can't come back from. Wasn't terrible, but I was starting to feel in myself I was revenge trading every day. So I'd go in and lose $300-400. I'd do the same thing the next day, and then instead of what I should have been doing is toning back my position sizes, because obviously I wasn't getting the market right. That's what I should have been toning back, but instead I was going in with bigger size because I knew, hey, I've just lost so much money in the last 2 days, and it's a downward spiral. You'll continue to lose worse and worse. And sometimes I feel it's just easier to not even let your emotion play into it at all by just, walk away for a few days, which is what I did. I just haven't really traded. I did a small position last Friday, like nothing worth talking about. We're talking $20-30, so it wasn't anything worth talking about. More just throwing out different strategies and whatever. Yeah, that's where I've been, and I've been real busy at work too. I've been hectic, but anyhow, enough about that. We'll go back onto the trades that I made last night. So AVGR was my first trade. I've been trying to practice being more patient as well. So for this stock, it just moved. For this stock here, this is the pre-market action here. So it's set up a nice neckline here, looking like a head and shoulders pattern, which is when it makes one up down motion, then it does a bigger one, and then it does another one about the same size as the first one. So you got the one there, two, and then three. And then normally with a head and shoulders pattern like that, once it breaks below the consolidation point or the neckline, which is where all the bottoms were, it should continue to fall. That's what I was looking for here. So when the stock opened, which was on this candle here, it fell straight below this neckline, but it did it too quick, and I don't want to chase stocks. I've been practicing not chasing stocks either, so I was waiting for a pullback. Had a bit of a pullback here, these two candles, but it wasn't enough. I was wanting it to come back to around this 190 level, which is where the neckline was. It turned back around and it came down to the 180s. It then had a bit of a bigger bounce, and it came back up towards this where it last bounced up to around the 187. I thought, oh, well, this is going to be the second time it's topped around here. I'll short it now. At the end of the day, I felt like it was a second chance. It was only 3 cents off where I wanted to enter, so it wasn't that big of a chase, So I shorted it there, but this bounced up more than I was expecting it to. I was expecting it to bounce towards this neckline, like I said, 190, 191, maybe a few cents over. I wasn't expecting it to go back up and test these highs up here around the $2 mark. So another thing I've been trying to do is cut my losses quicker, which is what I did. Normally I would risk to the $2 area, but when you think about it, that's ends up being 10% risk. I don't want to be risking 10% per trade, even though that's a good resistance line. I should be risking off this first point, the 3-4 cents, 5 cents maybe. So when it broke out here and it started trending up and the volume started coming in, as you can see with these green bars down here, I just cut the loss. I went, nah, I'm not going to have these big losses again. I'll cut it. And ended up being, I think, only a $20-25 loss, so it was good that I kept it tight. But yeah, at the end of the day I was right with this. I just went in a little bit too early, because then after it had that bounce for 5 minutes or so, it came down pretty sharp, retested this bottom, and then broke below it. And I was going to aim around this 170 area, because if you look at the daily candles back here, the 170 area lines up close to all these tops that it's been having the last few months. So that was my target, and but yeah, it I went in a little bit too early, which is why it didn't end up working out. My green trade was on CLDC. So on this one, I'll pull it back to market open and a bit of pre-market. So on this one, there was no pre-market actually, sorry. It was just spiking up in the morning. I saw it on my big gap scanner and it was halted, and that's sort of when I saw it, when it was halted. It then reopened and I was watching it after it reopened, and it just absolutely exploded in 2 minutes. Went from 290s up to the 380s, which is a 28% increase in 2 minutes. I didn't want to jump in because if it goes up 28% in 2 minutes, it can also fall 28% or more in 2 minutes. So I was waiting for a pullback, a 1 minute micro pullback, to jump into this trade, which is what happened with this red candle here. So it topped out on this green candle at 390 sort of area, and then once it started coming down, I was buying in this 358 area. You know, basically 40 cents off its highs, which was a pretty decent pullback. And then ended up going in the red a fair bit here, but I was holding. I was going to cut if it dropped below the VWAP and started testing this red EMA line. Didn't drop that far, but before the buyers came back in and pushed it up and surged it back up over this over the previous resistance, or the previous higher day. I got out real early, however, at 376. Got out real quick. So I missed a big chunk of this move, but still, even though it doesn't look like that big of a trade, it's still 6.5%, just that little move there, from there to there. And yeah, the reason why I was selling out in this spot is because it was a pretty decent resistance level. So like I said, the high of day was just a little bit above it. So the high of day is obviously a resistance level. And then also, if we go to the dailies, it was around this, where it previously topped on the 5th of June. Also, it was around this 360 area. And then it had a lot of consolidation around here, around those same areas. So it hit there. It came back over a few times, over that resistance point, but it dropped straight below. So I knew it wasn't going to be strong if it got over the 370 area, and here as well. If that's not a clear support resistance line, I don't know what is. Bounced, and then when it cracked, it just dropped. So that's why I sold right around that point, because I wasn't trusting this stock if it went over that, because it went high, but I could have bought up here or something, and then by the end of the day it's down here. You've just lost a lot of money. So I just took my profits when I had them there, because I wasn't trusting of this stock when it got over that point. So yeah, they were my trades last night. Hopefully I should be back a bit more often. I'll see how we go with work, because work's been absolutely hectic, but yeah, I'll try my best to get back into it and yeah, provide some more content. So thanks very much for sticking with me, and hope you enjoy the video, and let me know what you think in the comments, and give us a like and subscribe if you enjoy the video. Alright, I'll talk to you later.